placed together. So that's why, since it is a composition of various components, it is called Golgi body, complex or apparatus. Golgi body was first discovered by Camillo Golgi, and he got Nobel Prize in 1906. Golgi bodies are in plant cells called dictyosomes. In plant cells, Golgi bodies are generally known as dictyosomes. Golgi bodies consist of flattened disc-like cisternae, vesicles, circular vesicles, and tube-shaped tubules. Cisternae, vesicles, and tubules are arranged in such a manner it forms a structure called Golgi complex. Golgi complex is found in all eukaryotic cells except RBCs. Same like endoplasmic reticulum, these are absent in prokaryotic cells as well as RBC cells. The Golgi complex performs various functions. It is generally found near the endoplasmic reticulum, and it stores the substances, the enzymes, etc. produced by endoplasmic reticulum. So the main function of Golgi complex is storage and secretion. Other functions of Golgi complex are, the very first is secretion. The proteins synthesized in endoplasmic reticulum are just stored in Golgi complex, and lipid is stored in Golgi complex, polysaccharides, everything prepared inside endoplasmic reticulum is stored inside the Golgi complex, and whenever and wherever it is required, it is released from Golgi complex. So the most important or the basic function of Golgi complex, we can say, is secretion. The other function, the next function of Golgi complex is storage, modification and packaging of proteins formed obviously in endoplasmic reticulum. It stores, when the secretion is not required, the substances are not needed to be released, it is stored inside the Golgi complex, and there it is modified according to need, and it is packaged. So it helps in storage, modification and packaging of substances also. Golgi complex is responsible for membrane formation. It plays an important role in formation of plasma membrane. The next function of Golgi complex, it helps in cell wall formation. It helps in cell wall formation in plant cells by helping during formation of cell plate. So Golgi complex is also involved in cell wall formation, and it is responsible for lysosome formation also. We have studied about lysosome in the previous video. So the lysosomes are contained in a cisternae of Golgi complex, and the enzyme is fed inside that. So with the help of Golgi complex and endoplasmic reticulum, lysosomes are formed. So following are the functions of Golgi complex: secretion of substances produced by endoplasmic reticulum, storage, modification and packaging of substances produced by endoplasmic reticulum, cell membrane formation, cell wall formation in plant cells, and lysosome formation. So this is about Golgi complex. The next cell organelle that we are going to study is ribosomes. Ribosomes are the smallest cell organelle present in the cell. Ribosomes are found in all types of cells, whether it is a prokaryotic cell, a eukaryotic cell, a plant cell or animal cell. It is found in all the cells. In prokaryotes, they are found in the cytoplasm in free form, whereas in eukaryotes, it is generally associated with the rough endoplasmic reticulum. These are present on the surface of rough endoplasmic reticulum. However, it also occurs inside mitochondria, chloroplast and nucleus. That's why ribosomes are also called organelles within an organelle. Since it is present inside mitochondria, chloroplast and nucleus, it is called so. But in general, it is present on the surface of rough endoplasmic reticulum. Ribosomes are not bounded by membranes. They are just present inside some cell organelles, in cytoplasm and on rough endoplasmic reticulum. The ribosomes are responsible for protein synthesis. These have a primary function of protein synthesis, and that's why these are called protein factories of the cell. Since these are present on the surface of RER, they produce protein which pass through special channels inside the endoplasmic membrane, and from there it goes and gets stored in Golgi complex. The next cell organelle is vacuole. Vacuoles are storage bubbles found in cell. Generally, vacuoles are present in plant cell. There, as much as 90% of the volume of plant cell may be occupied by a single vacuole. So, in a plant cell, a single very large sized vacuole is present, which may occupy 70 to 90% of the total cell space. Vacuoles are generally absent in animal cell. If present, they are smaller in size and many in number. Unlike in plant cells where they are large and single, if animal cells contain vacuoles, they are very small and numerous. Vacuoles might store food or any variety of nutrient a cell might need to survive. The basic function is of vacuole that it is responsible for storage of variety of substance. These substance may be variety of nutrients. They even can store waste product so that the rest of the cell is protected from contamination. Eventually, these waste products would be sent out of the cell. They serve as a temporary storehouse for cell solutes, macromolecules, ions, sugars, amino acid, proteins and carbohydrates. So it serves as the function of storage of various substances inside the cell. A vacuole is surrounded by a permeable membrane which is called tonoplast. The membrane present on the vacuole is called tonoplast, and it is differentially permeable. It allows some substance to pass through it, and that's why it performs the function of storage of substances. Some substances are useful like macromolecules, amino acids, various nutrients, sugar, proteins, carbohydrate, etc. Whereas some substances are harmful, or you can say useless waste products which are stored over there, and eventually those substances are released out of the cell. We all are aware that even the largest organism start their development or start their life from a single cell. You may be surprised to think how a single cell can give rise to a number of, sometimes millions of cells. Growth and reproduction is the basic characteristic of the cell. Cells divide rapidly and repeatedly to develop new cells. New cells arise from pre-existing cells, and the development or rise of a new cell from the old cell is due to the concept of cell division. Now we will discuss about cell division in brief. Cell division can be defined as the process of production of new cells. Each cell divides and develops a new cell. These new cells are termed as daughter cells, which grow and again after getting certain maturity they divide and again give rise to new cells, and in this way the life, or you can say the cell division, continues. The cell division is very important for growth of the species and for continuation of life. Cell division, depending upon the type of the cell where it is going to be divided, cell division is of two types. The first one is mitosis and second one is meiosis. Mitosis is called equational cell division as it produces daughter cells with the similar number of chromosomes. So in parent cell and daughter cell, the number of chromosome remains same. In mitosis, two daughter cells are produced. So after mitosis, a parent cell divides into two daughter cells. Keep in mind, both daughter cells are having similar number of chromosome as parents were having. Mitosis takes place in somatic cells, in the cells of the body which do not perform the function of reproduction. The cells other than reproducing cells, mitosis cell division takes place. Those cells are called somatic cells, like our skin, blood, bones, everywhere there is mitosis cell division where the number of chromosome is always same. The mitosis cell division is necessary for growth and development of the body. So, due to mitosis cell division, our skin, bone, blood grows in number. The cells of these places grow in number, and all the cells are having similar number of chromosomes as parent cells. The other cell division is called meiosis. This is called reductional cell division. Why it is called so? Because in this case, the number of chromosome becomes half of the parent. Suppose parental cell is having 4 chromosomes, then the daughter cell will be having 2 chromosomes. That's why it is called reductional cell division. Here, 4 daughter cells are produced. It takes place in germinal cells only, that is reproductive cells. It takes place only. The reproductive cells of organism show meiosis cell division. Like you have studied in plants, pollen grains, ovary, in human beings, sperm, ova. All these show meiosis cell division where the number of chromosome becomes half. It is important to maintain number of chromosomes in a species. Otherwise, what will happen without meiosis? The chromosomal number would double with each generation during sexual reproduction. As we know, in sexual reproduction, 2 cells, one coming from each of the parent, gets fused. If the number of chromosome will be similar as the parent, every time the number of chromosome in daughter cells would be double. So to overcome this situation, there is meiosis cell division where parental cell is already having half number of chromosomes, and when they fuse together, the daughter cell produced again maintains the same number of chromosomes. So it is the importance of meiosis. Now let's have a quick comparison between mitosis and meiosis. Mitosis takes place mainly in somatic cells. It takes place mainly in reproductive or germ cells. Here, number of chromosome is similar as that of parent. Here, number of chromosome gets reduced to half. In this case, 2 daughter cells are produced. In this case, 4 daughter cells are produced. It is necessary for growth and development of the body, and it is important to maintain number of chromosome in a particular species. So it is all about cell division and its type that you have to study. Students, this is your assignment time. Following are your assignment question. Watch the video carefully and write down the answers of these questions. You will get answers.